Well, hey everybody, Andy Kvernen here with another Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional. I wonder if you've ever heard this folk story. There's a story of a man who is caught in a great flood, and the authorities come along and they say, hey, we're evacuating everybody, you need to get out of here, your life is in danger. But the man says, no, I'm not in danger, I've prayed about this, and I believe that God is going to save me. And so the authorities leave, and sure enough, the flood starts to come up, and eventually there's only room for boats to get around because the water's so high. And this rowboat comes by, and the man in the rowboat says to the man who's holding out, hey, get in the boat, we'll row to safety and get out of here. But the man says, no, I believe that God is going to come to my aid. He's going to save me, and so I don't need you. And so the rowboat leaves, and eventually the waters continue to rise, and a larger rescue boat comes, and they say, hey, you've got to get in here now. This flood is getting dangerous. But the man says, no, I believe that God is going to save me. And sure enough, the waters continue to rise as the boat leaves, and it doesn't take long for it to be almost catastrophic. The man can barely contain himself, and along comes a helicopter. And the helicopter pilot cries down to the man, hey, grab onto this ladder and we'll get you out of here. But you got to grab on. And the man says, no, I believe that God is going to save me. Now, what happens? Well, of course, the flood becomes so great that the man can't escape, and eventually he drowns. And there's this moment in heaven, remember this is a folk story, there's this moment in heaven where the man sees God and he says, God, I believe that you were going to come and save me. Why didn't you do it? And God says, well, I sent you the warning, I sent you the rowboat, I sent you the bigger boat, I sent you the helicopter. You said no to every one. And of course, the man realizes God did save him. He just didn't have eyes to see. And it reminds me of one of the passages that we read today in today's Bible reading in Psalm 29. And it reflects the propensity that we have to assign works of God to that which is not of God, to that which is commonplace, to miss that God is active around us. And so the psalmist cries out, this is a psalm of David, ascribe to the Lord, O heavenly beings, ascribe to the Lord glory and strength, ascribe to the Lord the glory due his name, worship the Lord in the splendor of his holiness. What does the psalmist say? He says, listen, ascribe to God that which is God's. What is God's? Well, God's is glory and strength. God has glory that's due his name. And so worship the Lord in the splendor of his holiness. And he goes on to say, the Lord is over the waters. The God of glory thunders. The Lord over many waters. The voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. Friends, it's so easy to walk through life and to leave life in the purely pragmatic realm, in a purely pragmatic realm, to assume that the things that are happening around us have simply to do with chance or with physics or with some human kind of thing. But remember this, God is active around us all the time. God is constantly at work. And what we're called to do is have eyes to see and hearts to respond to that which God does. Now, that's one of the reasons it's so important that we gather together for worship consistently, week in and week out, because our eyes tend to droop. I don't know about you, but mine can tend to look around me and see the things that are going on and assume that all of what's happening is purely pragmatic, it's purely human. And yet, what God says is, look, I'm at work. I'm active on your behalf. I have glory that I delight in revealing, but I want you to ascribe to me that which is due me. David reflects that. Friends, as you go about your day today, what's God doing in your life? How is God acting on your behalf? How is God responding to your prayers? How is God responding to your needs? Listen to this. Ascribe to the Lord, friends. Ascribe to the Lord his glory and strength. Ascribe to the Lord the glory that's due his name. Are you willing to do that today? Give God praise in all you do. Give God praise for how he's working around you. And let's ascribe to the Lord that which is due him. God bless you, friends. And Lord willing, we'll see you again soon on the Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional.